Chapter 3. My life in Uruguay was very much like life in Canada. The country was multicultural and ran by a democratic government just like Canada. The majority of the people were middle class, and so were we. My husband and I have a wonderful life. He worked for the central bank, and we own a business administration school where I taught keyboarding. We have 3 children and a lovely home. Life was comfortable, and our path was as clear as a pane of glass. And then, in 1972, Uruguay has a military coup. Our life were shattered.
I was only 10 years old.
From that moment on, all our rights and freedom were violated. Everybody against the government or belonging to a new political party or under suspicion being a subversive were persecuted, put in prison, killed, disappear, or have to leave the country. Because we belong to a new political party, the military will come to my house at 3 in the morning looking for propaganda or anything that they determine to be subversive or against the new regime.
Books, records, paintings, singers, manuscripts, artists, thinkers, and philosophers could all be considered anti-regime propaganda and cause to throw you in jail.
We were visited at least 7 times. Then, one night,
Open the door or we'll break it down.
they barged through the door and a gun was poked on my side.
Don't move.
They came in carrying guns, turned on lights, woke everyone in the house. They pointed their guns at my parents. They came in my bedroom. I sat in my bed as one of them searched my room and questioned me about the big book on my nightstand. He picked up the book and ran his fingers through it, shaking it, looking for loose notes.
What is this?
I thought he must be ignorant and unable to read. It clearly said in bold letters on the front cover, the Bible. He put the book back down and went to speak to the other soldiers. I overheard them talking about taking my father away. I was afraid. I was helpless. Where were they taking him? How long would he be gone? Would they take my mom too? What was going to happen to us? I was enraged. I would not cry in front of them. I would not give them that power. I didn't want to cause my parents more anguish. I could see the fear in my mother's face, and all I could do was sit in silence.
They took my husband away.
They took my father away.
They put him in a cell with dirt floor and a metal ceiling. They covered his head with a hood and they tied his hand behind his back.
They made him stand for hours. He was not allowed to sit unless the guard on duty told him he could. He could hear loud music, but it did not cover up the screaming of others as they were being tortured. The soldiers stomped on the jail's roof. It was made of metal sheets to cause sleep deprivation.
Every night, the military scratched the roof of his cell with chains. And they took him out a few times to the torture chamber to show him what they were going to do if he lied.
He was questioned and threatened with his family's safety.
Tell us what you know. We already have the rest of your family in custody.
That week, secret meetings were held in our home. My mom reached out to anyone who might know where my dad was. Family members, friends, acquaintances, some of them high-ranking officers. Others had connections in the Uruguayan military. I was small and would sneak into rooms and listen to the adults talk. No one seemed to know where my dad was, not even his own brother, who was part of the military.
I looked for him. I couldn't find him.
I felt so helpless. What happened to my father? Is my mother next? What will happen to us? I slept with my dad's picture close to my heart. Marcelo and I were the older siblings. We were 9 and 10 years old, taking on the responsibilities of adults, trying to keep Fabio busy and protect him from knowing the truth. One week, after my father was taken, a stranger showed up at our door, a man with a white beard.
A totally different person.
My father was never the same.
We went away for a few days to a friend's beach house. When we came back to the house, looked normal. But the only strange thing was a question mark in the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. We knew that we were target. The following Monday, we went to work as usual. When we came back home for lunchtime, my sister-in-law came to tell us to leave straight away because the military were after us. We had only a few minutes to make a decision. First of all, we need to take our children to a safe place and to write a power of attorney to my brother-in-law to manage our belongings. We sent our children to my mother's place in the northern part of Uruguay, where they could be saved. We planned to take a plane to Argentina, but realized that they were probably watching to us at the airport. So we crossed the Uruguay River in a boat to Argentina.
My brothers and I were sent away. We would let our imaginations run wild. We would plan assassinations. We imagined killing the president and how we would go about it.
In Argentina, we were still not saved. We didn't have documents or place to stay. We were always at risk to be put in prison, have the Uruguay military cross the river to take back us to Uruguay. From that day on, we were nobody. Most important thing was the safety to our children, and we didn't know if we will see them again.
We didn't know if we would see them again.
About a month later, we were able to get our Uruguay documents to start immigration papers in Argentina. My husband and I went to Buenos Aires. It was a big city. It was easy to hide, but it's still a time of uncertainty. We live day by day, not knowing if we will be alive tomorrow. Once we got the Argentinian papers, after 6 months, we reunited with the children, and sometimes we have no jobs and have to rely on our families to survive. We taught our children survival skills. Every day, I will pull strands of my hair out of my head, and I will tape it to the inside of the door.
We always checked the tape. If we saw that it had been disturbed, we knew it meant danger. Do not come in. Go elsewhere.
We didn't know if we will survive a day, as well if we will see each other at night again. Every morning when we said goodbye, we didn't know it will be the last.
Mom would always tell us to walk down the middle of the sidewalk so that no one could snatch us from a car on one side or from a house on the other. Every morning we said goodbye and didn't know if it would be our last.
After 3 years, we tried to get our permanent document, but it was denied, and we were ordered to leave the country in 3 weeks, or we will be killed. We went to the United Nations to ask for refugee status as a political exile. We got our refugee status, and the Canadian embassy accept us. We left Argentina in September 3rd, 1977, arriving to Red Deer with our 3 children. Ana was 13, Marcelo was 12, and Fabio was 7.
When I first got here, I was terrified. The couple that picked us up from the airport told us terrible things that happened to young girls. I thought it would be better to face the bullets back home. My guitar was my comfort.
In 1980, we have another daughter. I have lived here for 39 years. We built a business and built a home, and it is here where we raise our children. Uruguay is a democracy again after 15 years of dictatorship, but I have no desire to return. Canada is the place that I call home.
My brothers would always tease me about it, but I always loved playing it and singing. I never felt like I fit in anywhere. But now that I've lived here, I have no desire to return. Canada is the place I call home.
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio 2 luceros que cuando los abro perfecto distingo lo negro del blanco, y en el alto cielo su fondo estrellado, y en las multitudes el hombre que yo amo.
As I sat with my dad in ICU, something told me this would be the last night that I would see him alive.
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el sonido y el abecedario, con él las palabras que pienso y declaro, madre, amigo, hermano, y luz alumbrando la ruta del alma del que estoy amando.
I decided to spend this last time with him by singing all of the songs that I knew. This was my way of saying goodbye.
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la marcha de mis pies cansados, con ellos anduve ciudades y charcos, valles y desiertos, montañas y llanos, y la casa tuya, tu calle y tu patio. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio el corazón que agita su marca.